Hello guys, welcome to the Team Triceps Weekly Call. Thank you so much for being on. I really appreciate you taking time to be here tonight. I know you guys all have such a busy schedule, and hopefully you get something out of tonight so it's worth your time. So I always try and do relevant topics that I'm hearing from the team, that I'm hearing from coaches that I'm talking to, that really help you push your business forward. So first, before we get started, I just want to go over some of our recognition. So I'm just going to read off our recognition for the week. So our top coaches of the week. For 500 Club, we had Kelly Aronson with 765 PV. I've actually never seen Kelly's name on the list, so congrats, Kelly. Brittany Jeske with 720 PV, and I've never seen Brittany's name on the list either, so congrats. Emma Owen for 690 and Sarah Pollard for 540. For the 1,000 Club, we had Brittany Powers with 2688, Alexa Campbell with 2547, Erin Pitcher with 2040, Carly Del Carlo with 1995, and Vanessa Brown with 1275. Awesome numbers, you guys. Congratulations on being top coaches and being part of the 1,000 PV Club. Okay, so for top recruiters, we had Carly Del Carlo with 7, Erin Pitcher with 3, Jenna Urich with 3, Tina Rodriguez with 3, Carlini Langhoff, with 2, Jen Melberg with 2, Kirsten Escobar with 2, Lisa Sturlis with 2, Melissa Pye with 2, and Zeta Pitcher with 2. So congratulations, all of you guys. That was for the week of October 16th through October 22nd. So way to go, awesome job, and keep up the awesome work. So I want to just talk really quick about something that I posted on the team page just a few minutes ago, and I've already gotten a little bit of pushback from it. So I'm running a Team Triceps Wide Coach Sneak Peek week. So for those of you that don't know what that is, it's a group that we do on Facebook, that I've hosted on Facebook many times. I do one once a month, and it allows all of you to invite your prospect coaches, so the people that you are talking to that are considering coaching or maybe interested in learning more, or someone that you just feel like really would make a great coach. So you're inviting these people into the group. So this group is run in order to give them more information, to help them see what we do as a community and as a team. And it's a great opportunity. So I'm hosting the group, and we have over 130 members in the group, which is awesome and fantastic. What happens when we have such a large group is that it's a lot for me to manage as one person. And while a lot of coaches are participating in the group, I don't see a lot of coaches participating and engaging in terms of answering questions. So I would really like to see you guys up your game and help me run the group in terms of answering questions and taking initiative. And if they're your prospect, helping them answer questions. So there's a lot of back and forth about questions, but take the initiative and step in and answer those questions if you know the answers to them. And honestly, there's several answers to questions, okay? So even if maybe the answer isn't exactly how you would answer it, it's another perspective and a great learning. So I encourage you to take initiative and get in there and answer questions in groups like that. Same as when I'm running like free groups, like my 6-day shred, and I have coaches in there. Like I really like to see coaches take initiative and help me out and run those, because I'm opening them up to other coaches, and you guys are learning from that. So I'm giving you that learning and that ability to be in that group. And I'm hosting that group for you and maybe a couple of your people, so you can give back to me and help me out with that group, right? It's like a give and take, like we're helping each other out with that. It's kind of like co-coaching in a way. Also with Rock the Basics, I have people in Rock the Basics. Like if you have a new coach and maybe one of your uplines Rock the Basics, make sure that you're following along and checking in with your new coach and Rock the Basics, because it feels good to have your upline support you wherever you're at in the journey. So make sure that you're checking in with your coaches when they're in Rock the Basics, whether or not you're hosting it, okay? So the reason why I do that, the reason why I post it on the team page and encourage you guys to do that, is because we all kind of need a kick in the pants sometimes. We need some tough love. And I have to give tough love, because this is my business and this is how I run my business. So whether you like it or not, that's just how I run my business. You don't have to run your business like I do, okay? So that's just how I run it. So I apologize if it offended anybody. I did not mean to offend anybody, but I just feel like it's a give and take. So if I don't see a lot of coaches participate, then I'll just run my own sneak peek weeks, and then you guys can run your own as well. Even though I love having this energy and all the coaches, and I'm sort of hate to see it come to that, because I think it's fun to run big groups like that. Anyways, I do it because I love you, I promise. You can ask many coaches over the last couple of weeks. I've been in a mode of tough love, and I've been giving lots of tough love. And it's good. It's what you guys need, right? Sometimes it's what I need. Adam gives me a lot of tough love. My mentors at corporate give me a lot of tough love. It's a good thing. We all need it. All right. So let's get into the topic for today. So we're going to be talking about following up. So this is a really cool topic. This is something that I feel like we all struggle with. I myself struggle with this a lot. And following up really starts from being super organized. You have to be committed to being organized with your contacts. And a lot of you know this about me, and I'm not shy about this, but that is the one thing that I struggle with in my business. I have always struggled. It's like that frog. If you've ever read that book, Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. It's the frog in my business. I just cannot seem to get my poop in a group when it comes to getting my contacts organized. So I've invested in a sales management system that's costing me $50 a month, where I can organize my contacts and have a list sent to me daily about who I need to follow up with and such and such. So I'm doing something like that, but there are many ways that you can do it for free where you don't have to invest in it. And we're going to talk about that. So I just want to share with you guys a couple of stories about why following up is so, so important. Okay, so I had a friend who was actually raising money for a race that she was running in a couple weeks ago. And we were talking, and it came up, and she's like, yeah, you never donated to my race. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And she's like, yeah, I reached out to you and you said you would, and then you never did. And I was just like, man, that sucks, because I really try and follow through with everything I say I do, but I'm also human, and I forget things. Like, things fall through the cracks sometimes, and we're busy people. So I just told her, I'm like, darn it, I'm really sorry, and I take all the responsibility for that. But next time, just don't feel bad to ask me a second time. I promise, when I say that I'm going to do something, I am. I just may need a few nudges. So that's a great example that it's good just to give someone an extra nudge. Okay, that they say that they're going to do it, and we're going to talk about that, like how to word that, but just give someone an extra nudge. Another example is, I just recently got an email from someone at MindBody, and MindBody is a software that a lot of yoga studios use. Well, they had been recruiting me to buy their software for a while now, and I really didn't understand what it was until I started working at a yoga studio recently. So I really haven't, I said, yeah, maybe I'd be interested at one point, but I really have not been engaged with a lot of conversations with these salespeople at MindBody. And it's interesting, a lot of times I just delete the message and move on. I got an email from this guy, and usually I don't even read them, but I read it today. So weird. And he said in the email, and I wish I had it in front of me, but he said something like, a simple response is really appreciated. Like, I'm interested, I'm curious and want to know more, or I'm not interested at all, stop bugging me. And it was just interesting. So I'm going to reply back to him and say, thank you, I'm not interested at all, you can take me off your list. So just something like that, like, it at least gives him peace of mind that he doesn't have to waste his time talking to me anymore. Okay, so it's just very interesting how different things come into play, and how we can use those examples to really build a better business for ourselves. So number one, and I'm just going to give you guys 4 steps to following up. So number one, you obviously have to send an invite first to follow up with someone. So you have to be inviting people. And we've talked many times about inviting people. And I want to let you know that you have to get out there and you have to invite people. So you guys know that. It's a vital behavior you have to invite. The thing about inviting that I want you to start doing, and I challenge you to start doing, is I want you to start tracking your invites. So getting in an Excel document and saying, invited Stacy to Sneak Peek Week on, and then put a date. Like, you know, the action was done, action date was 10/27. So that was yesterday. Yesterday I sent out like 15 Sneak Peek Week invites. So the date was 10/27. And then I have a follow-up column. I don't do this exactly, but this is an example. So maybe, you know, you write the name of the person, you take some notes on what you did, and then you say date of action. And then you say follow-up date. Like, what is your next date? What is the next thing that you're going to do? When is the next time you're going to follow up with them? And you say, I want to follow up with them in 2 days. Okay? Or whatever it is. So you put your follow-up date there. So then every day when you go to do your power hour or you go to do your follow-ups, you can go through that list and you can sort by date. You can filter out in Excel by date. So if you pull up and you say, oh, I've got 5 people that I need to do for today that I need to reach out to and follow up, and you have your notes, you have the people, you're all good. You have your follow-up list there. But that only comes when you stay organized and you commit to typing in their name and taking 3 minutes tops for each person afterwards to put in some notes and put a follow-up date. So I challenge you to start implementing that. Don't get overwhelmed and feel like you have to do that for everybody before. Why don't you just start with the people that you're inviting now, in this moment, the people that you're talking to now, okay? Just start with now. Okay, so number 1 is invite sent and coming up with a system to organize that. So tracking those people is really, really super important. Okay, number 2, we need to have scripts for the responses, for our follow-up responses. So when you invite somebody, they're either going to say one of 4 things, most likely. They're going to say, they're going to not respond. There's going to be no response. They're going to ignore you. I mean, how many times have you gotten ignored? I've gotten ignored a lot, okay? I'd be a lot richer for the amount of ignores versus the amount of people that have said yes. Am I right? Can you guys feel me on that? For sure. Okay, you get people that say, I'm not sure, I'll think about it, let me do some research, send me some more info. Okay, there's people that say yes, they're going to do it, but then they never follow through. And then there's people that say, you know, thanks, but no thanks, I'm not interested. So, you know, those are like 4 categories that you can kind of lump people into of the response to your invite. So from there, you need to have scripts for each one of your follow-up. So say, for instance, someone, you send an invite to Stacy, and you say, I'm running a challenge group on such and such date. Are you interested? Whatever your invite is. And then you go to your Excel tracker and you type in follow up in 3 days. And then you go back and you see that Stacy has not responded. So then you say, okay, I'm going to follow up with Stacy. I'm going to send her a message. And I would say something such as this. Hey, Stacy, I just want to check in. I know you're a super busy person, so this may not be a good time for you to join my group. But would it be okay if I checked in with you in about a month when I run my next group? Okay, then maybe that gets her attention, like, okay, yeah, like, good. Like, and then maybe she just says, yeah, sure. So then you go to your notes and you just penned the follow-up for a month. Okay, so then you put in your little notes and you say follow-up, you know, 11/25 or whatever the follow-up date is, okay? So hopefully you're trying to get a response. So you're trying to get them to respond. And by responding that way, like say, hey, can I reach out to you in a month? Maybe that'd be better timing. I feel like that takes the pressure off people and they're more apt to say, okay, yeah, sure, you can do that. And honestly, maybe you have to do that a lot. Maybe you have to do that over and over and over. We're going to talk about that in one of the steps. Okay, the other response that people are going to give you is they're going to say, I need to think about it. I need to get more information. Can you send me some stuff? So we all send them some information. We answer some questions, and then we pen to follow up. So we answer questions, and then we say in our notes, we say, okay, this was Megan, and I gave Megan more information. I sent her this video, and I'm going to follow up with her tomorrow. So tomorrow comes, or maybe it's 2 days. Maybe you do the follow-up in 2 days. And you say, and at that point, you gave her more information, but she never responded back. Okay, so again, you have the no response thing. So just, so I would say something like this. Hey, Megan, I'm just checking in on you. Tell me more about your thoughts on this. What are you thinking? Are there any questions that you have that I can answer for you? And truly, if this is not the right time, let me know and I'm going to tell you, and then I'll make sure to tell you about my upcoming challenge groups in the next couple months. Would that be okay? So again, you're taking the pressure off. You're alleviating the pressure off of these people. Okay, so all of these scripts that I'm telling you guys, it's really awesome to be organized with your scripts and to have all of this laid out. So as you're typing notes and taking notes and rewatching and taking notes, have all of this readily available to yourself so that you can copy and paste so that it's easy and you can tweak little things here and there. Okay. All right, what about the response that someone says, yes, I'm ready to go. You've been talking with them and they say, yes, let me do it. Okay. But then they never actually do it. So whenever someone says yes and I send them the mobile enrollment, I still want to follow up with them. I still want to check in with them tomorrow and say, hey, at least on my follow-up or check-in, I'm going to first go look in my online office and see if the order went through. If I don't see the order in my online office or the previous office, then I'm going to follow up. And I'm going to say something like, hey, Megan, I know you're a super busy person. I haven't seen your order come through yet. I'm sure you did it, but I just want to make sure that it was done correctly so you get your stuff on time. Okay, so with that said, then hopefully there's going to be a response coming back with like, oh, I haven't had time to do it yet. I'm going to do it tonight. Or, oh my gosh, I did do it and I don't know why you're not seeing it. Okay, so if that comes up, then at least you know that they did it and you can get the order switched to you. So either way, hopefully it's going to be a good response. Now, after that, after I send that message, I'm going to follow up, put a pen to follow up for the next day. And I'm going to say, I want to check back in with her tomorrow to see if she ordered. So the next day I'm going to come up and I'm going to pull it up and I'm going to say, okay, let me check my online office. Did the order go through? So the order didn't go through the next day. Then I'm going to go back to the I'm thinking about it. I need more information. And I'm going to say, just checking in on you. What are you thinking? Are there more questions I can answer? You know, truly, maybe this isn't the right time for you, and that's okay. Would it be all right if I checked in with you in a month when I run my next group? Okay, and if they say yes, then you pen for a month. If they don't say anything, then you pen for a month, okay? I always pen for a month out. If I don't get a response or I don't hear anything, I pen for a month out and I reach back out to them. Or at least that's what I attempt to do, okay? I'm working on it. I don't have a perfect system. But if I was in a perfect system, this is exactly how I would do it, okay? So what about the people that say, no, I'm not interested? So this is an interesting one because I feel like when people say no, it's really hard for us to go back and ask them again because they've said, no, I don't want to do it, right? So I want you to think about how circumstances change in your life, like how maybe you've said no to something at one point in your life, but then maybe a couple months down the road or even maybe a year later, it's changed. So when someone says, I'm not interested, I would follow up and I would say, totally understand. I really, truly believe that timing and being ready is a big deal. Like you have to be ready to make this change in your life. You have to be committed to do this. Let me ask you a favor though. Is there anybody in your life that you know is ready to make a change? Because I'd love to reach out to them and help them. So you're asking them for a referral. And then after that referral, you're going to say to them, and do you mind if I reach back out to you in a couple months and just see how you're doing and see if maybe anything's changed? And then you pen it out for 2 or 3 months. Okay. So the goal here is to always create another exposure. It's to always create another thing going so that you always have an opportunity to reach back out to somebody. Okay. So that you're always setting the expectation that you're gonna reach out to them again. All right. Number 3, that kind of leads me right into my third point, is that you're gonna have to have these exposures with people several times. You're gonna have to invite people several times until they're ready. But you know, it's worth it. It's worth it, and it's easy, especially if you have a system. It's really easy if you have a system and you have scripts and you have dates set for yourself. So get yourself an organized system. You're gonna feel so good about it when you do that and you get organized with it. Okay, and lastly, I want you to always be thinking of ways to connect people to what they really want. So as you're forming people and as you're learning about them and learning about what they need in their life, You're listening to what they're doing, right? You're listening to what they want. You're listening to their dreams and whatever. And maybe they're talking about, gosh, I don't even know, but maybe they have a complete different passion about running, or not about running, that's a bad example, but maybe they have a passion about photography. And maybe somewhere along the way, you find someone who is a photography coach or has this great class on photography. You should match those two up. Like, you should send your prospect an email and say, or a message and say, hey, I thought of you because so-and-so who I met this weekend has this great free online resource for photographers, and I thought you would really be interested in it. When you can create value like that and always be thinking of people, that really makes a difference in people's lives. Okay, so people really appreciate that. So think about that, how you can impact someone's life, not just with Beachbody, but with other things. You can connect them up with different things. How can you serve them in other ways? Okay, so really just think about that when you're interacting and when you're listening to people. That really goes into listening to people and what they're saying, right, and what they need. So think about that, and I think that will get you far ahead. And it will also show people that you do truly care, and that you're not just there to sell them something. Okay, that you're actually setting them up with something that may not necessarily benefit you. That's a really cool thing. People love that. Don't you love that when someone does that? Like, really thinks of you and sets you up with something that means something to you. So those are my tips with following up. And truly, it really is about having a good system. So for those of you that are sitting here thinking to yourself, okay, I don't have a good system, I don't have any scripts, where do I start? So where you start is you go to your Facebook, your messages, and I want you to pull the last 20 messages out of people that you've been talking to, and I want you to write down their names. And those are the people that you're going to start to follow up with. So I want you to put them in your Excel spreadsheet, or however you're going to track them, and I want you to start there. I want you to start with those people, and I want you to also, before you start with those people, create your scripts based on what I've taught you tonight on the different responses. So whatever, with those 20 people, whatever their last response was, that's the script that you're going to feed to them, and you're going to show your follow-ups, okay? So for those of you that are really struggling to hit Success Club, like you're really trying to make that push to hit Success Club, this is a great way. Go back and grab the 20 last messages and start this process with following up. Okay, and then those are the people that you've already constantly been building a relationship with. Like I said, it takes several exposures and several invites for someone to say yes. So a lot of times when we're inviting someone for the first time, very rarely do they say yes. So you always have a better likelihood, or a higher likelihood, I should say, of closing someone if you've talked to them in the past about purchasing a challenge pack. Okay, so follow up with those people and just see how they're doing, checking in. And if you haven't talked to them in a while, just be like, we haven't talked in a while, and I know that you've been interested in a challenge group. I'd love to see you join my next challenge group. We have so much fun, and you get guaranteed results if you put in the hard work. I'd love to be your coach. That easy. So do your follow-ups. Get with some people. I know that you can all hit Success Club this month. It's within your power. I just wrapped up 10 yesterday, so I'm really thankful for that. I always try and make 10 a goal in my business and non-negotiable. I missed it 1 month this year, and that was completely my fault, and I didn't plan. I just kind of let other things get in my way, and that happens. So anyways, I'll get off my soapbox. I hope you guys have an awesome night. Thank you for being here. Love you all, and I hope you guys have an awesome week, and we will talk so very soon. See you guys soon. Bye. Thanks for being on.